Hey there, everyone. I hope they had an excellent Monday for trading. I have a top 10 list for you that I think we could have some mega movers within this list over the next day to several days, especially the number 1 out of 10 spot. I'm pretty darn excited about. Can't wait to see where it goes. It might not be the biggest winner, but it's the one that I'm most excited about. We'll watch and see. Just like I was excited this past Saturday for the first options workshop to teach people about options, what are calls, what are puts, and getting them ready for that first call option or put option play that was out there. And then this is what it looks like when you click the link down in the description. I'm going to have one coming up for August the 23rd as well. There are a limited number of seats available. This one sold out, so make sure you take advantage of the next one. Not only to get that workshop that goes about 90 minutes with a Q&A session as well. It is a live workshop, but you also can join a community where I put out stuff like this. So yesterday, 23 hours ago, so around 6 p.m. Eastern time, I talked about OSCR, which is Oscar Health Inc., and I talked about breaking 1601 support and where it could potentially run to 1749, 1853, the different things that I'd be looking for in terms of taking a call option position. So I talked about expiration, strike, profitability, all that kind of stuff, and I even linked an image with the technical analysis on that as well, so people would know in that forum community exactly what it would be that I'd be looking for and how that aligns with what we talked about in that workshop. So if you guys don't know about options, but you'd like to, this Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern time, I will get you a link for that. So make sure you come back. The very next video that I drop is going to have that link along with it. It's just not quite ready yet, but once it gets set up, I will drop it for you. And like I said, there's a limited number of seats available. There's likely going to be a discount code as well. We'll see what gets thrown my way for that one, but it is a great time. There's lots to learn. You get to ask your questions. You get to be 60 days with their forum community as well, where you can go and ask other nuanced questions as you go through and you try things out and see what works, what doesn't. Okay, well, I thought I understood, but I definitely don't understand. There's a ton of value that's there, and you guys can check it out. Like I said, the link will be down in the description. It's not quite ready yet, but I will let you know exactly when it's ready and how to take advantage of it. That's this Saturday, August the 23rd at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So guys, the cues, just to give some background to the market bias, that's important for these movers. We are in a near-term bear channel for the Qs, still bullish overall, so just keep that in mind. A little bit of down days with generally up days. I don't think that we've left that so far. I don't think that we will leave that until at the earliest non-farm payrolls when September rolls around. We're going to have to watch and see. If we break out of the top of this thing, we can rise all the way up to 583 with some stops along the way, right around 579, up to about 581. We'll watch and see what we get. If we continue to tumble from these areas where we have that resistance, if we can't quite break through it, look at all these high wicks that we have here. If we sell off instead, we could be down to where we found ourselves before, right around 575, all the way down to about 573, maybe a little bit south of that. We definitely catch this area of support that goes from 571.57 all the way up to 573.32. So that's something to watch out for the Qs. That can set the stage for what we're looking for the movers. Now, Bitcoin, also worth looking at in terms of what sort of risk environment do we find ourselves in. I said, hold this support, and Bitcoin, listen, what do you know? Bitcoin cares what I say. That was excellent. So Bitcoin, not down and out yet. So far, holding this support still tells us a little bit about the risk environment. So right now, the market is hesitant, but we're still generally in bullish territory. So Oscar Health, OSCR, this one started its move today. I posted about it yesterday. I said, watch for it to break 1601, hold that support. Well, it actually, if we drop down to a more intraday chart on this, what happened was, I'll go back a little bit, and let's actually drop down a little bit more. Let's go down to the 5-minute chart and see what we get there. There we go. Perfect. So what you can see from the 5-minute chart here is that we opened up, we tested resistance at 1601, sold back down to support down here, and then came back through at 1601, and then on this very first candle at 10 a.m. to 10:05, up through that, and then became really, really tradable. You can see the volume conviction that came in at 10:05 to 10:10, that 5-minute time frame, which really pushed this thing up once it went. So the things that I talked about over in the forum are the exact things that played out. Wish it was tradable for me today. It was my first day back to teaching, so I was in the classroom, had a fresh batch of students to get ready for things. Wasn't able to trade it, but I was at least able to get out there and talk about the things that I'd be looking for, and I hope some people were able to take some advantage of that. So for Oscar Health, this one, I don't think the move is done. The momentum is about right. The volume's looking good. We do have, on the monthly chart, a consideration to look at. We are getting some of that volume build. So 1749 is what I'm looking at, and then some massive resistance from about 1850-ish up to about $19. And if we go out to the monthly chart on this, the weekly momentum, by the way, is bullish. You can see all the chop that we get. Let's take down that stuff. You can see all the chop that we get right in here, which is where it finds itself right now, all the way up to the peaks of these candles, which is 1890, which is about that $19 mark. That does push considerably back into this engulfing candle that not as engulfing, like, yeah, it completely wiped out that green. It didn't drop down below it, though. I think that's an important distinction, at least in my experience. So I think we can push this thing up. That's the one big drawback, was that big old red pepper that we got, wiping out the green pickle that we got from June into July. So now for that top 10 list. First one, TROX is that ticker symbol. It's in the background of the screen. You guys can see it there. And you guys can also see on this monthly chart how it's sold off going all the way back to June of last year until now. And honestly, look at the volume that we have in August, almost matching what we got in May, July. This thing almost there, about halfway through August. I think that this could be that time we might be able to see a turnaround. We'll have to see. If we drop down to the daily chart, you guys can see the gap down that we took. We could be on a course to fill that gap. We're going to have to watch and see if we're able to break that 441, which is about 7-ish% from where it's at right now. If it can, this thing is going to take us up to about $5, giving us a 25% rise on this. Maybe that happens tomorrow. Maybe it happens over several days. That's my 10 out of 10 pick. And it's in pink because it's one that is least favored. But I still think that we could have something neat happening there. Going to NMAX, so Newsmax having a nice volume pop today. This is one that I think could actually, with that move, I think it could push all the way up until we get to about $16 per share. We in the post market around 14, so another $2. So $1.40, that sounds like about 14-ish% to me. You guys are welcome to check out the math on that and see, maybe it's 13%, somewhere around in there. We could have that push up to them. Maybe we get more out of it, maybe we don't. Out of that Newsmax move, maybe even as high as like $17 if it takes us up to this peak or this pivot that we have down here going back to May of 2025. Also in pink, I have the little flags over here. That's number 9 out of 10. Yellow flags, I like the yellow flags a little bit more. Now this one right here, just some bomb volume on that daily chart for MB, which is Master Beef. Oh my, Master Beef Group. I don't know why I found that so funny, but I did. So in any case, for this one, let's drop down to a 15-minute chart, see what things look like in here. You guys can see this has been a wild ride so far. Had some nice moves today. This is number 8 out of 10 for me. I don't love it, but I think that there's still some potential there. Had some nice volume moves in between with a little bit of settling that happened afterwards. If we're able to really overtake like 726, we might be able to even take on this 855. I don't think the moves are done here. We see the bottoms keep on creeping up. We'll see how it handles that resistance that we got in that low 7s, because that could be that thing after the momentum reset like it did. We could push this thing higher. So going up to a higher time frame chart, let's go back out to the day chart, see what this thing looks like. You guys can see the massive sell that we got a couple days ago, and we could potentially recover a bit from there. And this shelf that we have over here to the left, that happens to be in the low 9s. If we get there, good. It looks like so far we got a pretty hard rejection off the bottom of this, which happens to be right around that $8 mark. So it's potential that we are turning things around for MB, Master Beef. And that just sounds like a middle school name if I had to say it. So that's number 8 out of 10. Like it. Don't love it, but it is on the list. So ISSC, so this is innovative solutions and support. And so for this one, got a decent move in the after hours. Let's like put that up there on screen for you. What I don't love about this one is that the volume isn't quite too great, but the reason that it's on the list and why it's 7 out of 10 is because off the bottom of this thing, we have, from the day that we actually had a decent volume, there we go, we'll put that on there. There's the bottoms coming up on that, and then right across here, if you can see it, check out what we have for those top prices. So the bears are having trouble keeping the bulls back on this one. The bulls taking ground off the bottom. So the bulls gaining. The bears trying to hold. I think this thing's going to squeeze up on us. And so in terms of squeezing up, it's got a market cap of $250 million. It has a float of $15.27 million. I'm actually, this one, I'm actually going to give it a green flag right here as I talk myself through it. It sounds even better than when I was perusing these stocks. So ISSC is that ticker symbol, and we could potentially gain back some of those things that we lost. Maybe it pushes us back up closer to that $16 per share, whereas right now it's sitting at about $14.50. Well, $14.35 is what it's at right now. So that would be another $1.70, $1.80 up from where we happen to sit in the after hours. Watch and see if we are able to break that resistance that we find ourselves at that comes in around 1468. If we're able to get to like 1470, maybe that next move comes in, and then we're able to push up to where we found the tops of these and the bottom of that. So that would be around 1611 is that price tag that I have on there, and that makes about a 10% move. Lase, L-A-S-E, 15-minute chart in the after hours. Man, we got some movement on this one. We'll see if we get a bit of a retracement on this, but there you can see some of that consolidation. We get some good volume movement here, some real outperformance, 317% up for its revenue, it looks like. So we have an earnings thing, and we have some resistance up here on 431 to 483. If we go out to the daily chart to see what that looks like, what I'm thinking on this one is maybe we take some retracement, but that should have enough volatility that it's able to pull back on us and we're able to catch the next rip on it. Some of that movement might all take place during the pre-market hours. We might not get a chance on this. We'll have to watch and see. Market cap's only 35 million. Shares floats 5.45 million on this. So bound to have a wild move. And let's drop out to the 2-hour chart on this. There we go. 2-hour chart. Number of shares traded 5.64 million, and there's 5.45 million shares float. This thing absolutely massive. That's I think that this could have a much further move. We'll see if we get a bigger squeeze up on that tomorrow. Maybe it has to retrace a little bit first. We'll have to see if everything happened during the post market or if we're going to get more movement out of it. But that one, let's see, LASE is the ticker symbol. Now we're getting into the top 5 here. So LIDAR, LIDR, this is AI. Letter A, EYE is the name of the company, AI Inc. LIDR is the ticker symbol for this one. And it closed at 260. It's up at 301. Looks like we had some volume moves not too long ago. So going back to the 24th of July, drop down to the 2-hour chart and see what we got. Nice little volume pop. If we're able to break over this top here where we have that resistance, we should get a nice trade up in there, and that could take us up as high if we're able to push that 645. So this is something that could potentially double on us. I think some more volume would really help us out. So nearer than that would be about where we find the bottom of this, and the bottom of this happens to be at 348. If we're able to really punch it up above that 389, and then this peak right here for 438, we'll have to watch and see. Market cap 103, shares float 36 million. So this is going to be a little bit harder to move, but potentially we get it. In the after hours here, we got about 7 million shares being traded on this. So let's keep on going. FTHM, so Fathom Holdings, there we go. Big old volume move going back to Friday, another volume move today on Monday. And if we drop out to the daily chart, because I believe that's where what I wanted to see for this one, there we go. I absolutely love this candle structure that we have happening here. I think that between the volume and the candles that we have, that we're going to have a continued move higher from here. Potentially it takes us up to $1.50. That'd be about another 10% move, which doesn't seem like a lot. If we're able to overtake that, that could move us up to, we have another peak at 156 and then 175 to be a 40-cent move, which would be about a 30% climb from where it closed at today and where it is in the post market. So we'll watch and see if we get that. The shares float on this is 12.47 million. Market cap is 38 million with a very low price on this thing. This thing could move wildly on us, especially given the massive bump in volume that we got recently. We'll see if we get that movement. Number 3 out of 10, FLXS. So this one, man, where is it at in the post market? All the way up here at 44. If this thing can pull back to 40 on us, and so about 10% drop from where it's at in the post market, we got nice volume today. I think we have even more volume in the after hours. Ooh, look at that. That's delicious. Somebody knew something on Friday. Man, oh man, that's a lot of shares traded. And then today also moving in the after hours. Volume not as strong as I want to be. The shares float on this thing, by the way, is only 3.53 million. The market cap is about 192 million on this one. So this one, Low shares float. We might be able to squeeze this. We'll watch and see. If we do, maybe we pull back to that 40.57 and then take that rocket ship. Maybe we can hit 46 off of this one. We're going to have to watch and see. Maybe we've already peaked out. Maybe we'll sell off. It's still my number 3 out of a 10 pick for that one. ACDC. Look at this. Absolutely love this formation that we have here. This nice curved bottom that we have. Nice round bottom. There we go. Perfect. Look at that. And we're starting to get that volume build back up again as we break over these tops that we had over here previously. And then if we go out to the daily chart on ACDC, let me see. You can see that we're pushing up against this down here. If we're able to break over that, this thing could rise up quickly to the mid 4s. Up above that, it could take us to 5. And when we get up above that, we get a little bit more freedom. As we get up into the 5s, up into the 555, 11.07 shares float, market cap about $600 million on this thing. And once again, it's that candle structure that I absolutely love. Look at that little doji that we have in there. Red on one side, green on the other, with a bit more volume pickup on this side. So that would go along with that nice little low volume-y trading that we have down here. A bit overdone. We'll see if we are able to make that rip back up to the north on this one. And I think we absolutely can. It's number 2 out of 10. The number 1 out of 10 spot. Now this last one might actually move a little bit more because of the news that it got. So I think it's Novo Nordisk. I always struggle with the company name. In any case, so for GoodRx, they have I believe that they have a deal. The news came out about, I think it's Ozempic or something like that, that they could be handling some of that business, and that could be very good for it. And GoodRx is a company that's been fairly well beaten up over time. And check out the way that it moved. There we go. Put it up there on the chart for you. And let's also drop this down to the 30-minute chart. There we go, because that'll show us that from 9 to 9:30 is where we got that first pop, and then the stock started moving after that. There we go. And Novo Nordisk, there we go, adds Ozempic to direct-to-consumer offerings, and people believe that GoodRx stands to benefit wildly from this. I think that they got named directly, and the volume spike was considerable because you can't even see it really show up anywhere else besides today on this chart. And if we go out to the daily chart on this, you can see the gap up that we got, most likely having a continued move, showing us some of that move here in the after hours. And we're also up above this area up here where we have the tops of those. So being able to get up above that, we have a little bit of trouble right around the mid 5s. And if we go out to the monthly chart, I think we really start to see, mind you, look at the monthly volume. Look at August, which is, we're only halfway through compared to everything that came before it until we get back to August of 22 was the last time that we had volume greater than what we have right now. That was downward pressure. This up here, this is upward pressure. With a news like this, we could potentially see ourselves up at about we'll call it mid 9s. So 930, 940, we could push up to where we have these other peaks in the middle here. There we go. I'll stretch it out for you. And we'll do this so it looks a little bit better so you can see a little bit more of what I'm talking about. So we're down here right now. We have some peaks to overcome that happen to be anywhere from about, we'll say 6 to 7. So anywhere in there, if we're able to keep this momentum going off a monthly move like this, a monthly volume like that, that could potentially move us even farther to the upside. So I think that we cap out somewhere around 940-ish on a move like this. That's my number 1 out of 10 spot. I don't know that we would have all of that move tomorrow, but just look at that candle right there with that long bottom wick. Nice move so far. So we opened at 472. We were all the way down on this thing, all the way down to 331. Now we find ourselves up over $5 per share. So nice little move on that one with that positive news. This could get that traction going in the right direction that maybe undoes some of this damage that we saw back in August of 24, all the way until we got to November 24, December, and then kind of sideways after that. This could be the start of that volume pickup. So we're going to have to watch and see what we get from that. So some of these already have some big moves. I don't know how deep the options markets are for these. They could potentially be there, or they could be things that just the volatility and the volume of shares is enough in order for us to make some fairly profitable day trades on something like that. I'm going to look around through the options markets. If I find that there's a deep enough options market, like what I saw with OSCR stock, so that Oscar Health, I'll put that out over in the forum community to go along with that options thing that I was talking about, the options workshop. And that should also help out the next wave that comes through for that beginner options workshop. And we'll quickly get into session 2 at some point in time. Session 2, by the way, this is another version of session 1. So this is still for the beginners. Session 2 starts to advance on that. Session 3 starts to get even more advanced topics like combining different options to form strategies with those options. So pretty darn excited about all of that. So August the 23rd, 2 p.m. You guys can check that out. Technicals, transactions, you name it, over at the Discord. Link is in the description for that right now. Code word doctor when you sign up is going to get 50% off that first month. I'm just one of the people over there supporting you in your journey towards financial freedom and building alpha in your portfolios. You can see my news, technicals, transactions all over there. You can hang out with a community of thousands of members. It is an entire ecosystem. Sometimes I'm even fortunate enough to do the live trading with StockMo. Crypto Will joins us from time to time as well. And then there's Tensei, who just does wonderful trades over there with options as well. You name it. There's so many people there. There's so many products, services, you name it. There's everything that you need within that Discord to really help you out in your journey towards financial freedom and building alpha in your portfolio. And if you want to know in more of a live session, face-to-face on Zoom kind of thing, those options workshops, great. There's also a technical analysis workshop with StockMo. There's a crypto workshop with Crypto Will, Fresh Prince of Crypto, if you want to search them up on YouTube. And those guys are absolutely top-notch and incredible. And I think that we have a really solid product with these workshops that we're putting out. And it's up to the testimonials to really start landing so that people can talk about their experiences that they're having. I can tell you that the immediate reaction that we got was that it was very positively received. And I hope to see you guys over there. If not in the workshop, at the very least in the Discord. And if it's just here on YouTube, go ahead and say hello, and thank you very much for watching. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Remember, my friends, that learning is earning. You'll see you next video.